wow, you know what I want? I want Roundnet to be like really do poorly. I want nobody to like what we're doing. I want everyone to stop playing Roundnet. I don't want any partners, sponsors, viewers come to the sport. High level, because I think like the only thing I'm really interested in talking about is like this topic of, you know, ESPN was broadcasting like the finals on Sunday, and that was a really cool opportunity. And if you didn't listen to that Roundnet podcast, I talked a little bit about this too. I'm sure lots of friend groups in the Roundnet community talked about it, where it's just like, is that the right choice? You know, what cost? You know, we may never know. I'm here to tell you, I know it was 100% the right choice. Happy to explain why, but before I talk more about my thoughts there, just want to say, like, whether it's you, me, Spikeball's employees, high level, like, everybody wants Roundnet to be bigger than it is, right? Like, nobody who's part of this conversation has the perspective of, wow, you know what I want? I want Roundnet to be like really do poorly. I want nobody to like what we're doing. I want everyone to stop playing Roundnet. I don't want any partners, sponsors, viewers come to the sport. Like, that is, no one is saying that. No one's ever saying that. Granted, some people might make these big claims that, wow, well, how people are behaving suggests that. I think that's usually based on limited information. I know I never have all the information, so that's why I try to ask questions. The same way that you or I might have different interests, maybe different people. You and anybody else are different people, different interests. Spikeball's a company, and they also have their own interests. So, like, if the only thing you were worried about last weekend was wanting to watch live Roundnet, that's great. But like Spikeball didn't have the same priority that like what you wanted as your highest priority was watching live Roundnet, and that needed to be serviced. So just like want to throw that out there. I think one of the biggest things that I took away from this weekend and thinking about it is, and also like from my perspective in doing a lot of streaming this year, is that nothing's free. So two things on the Spikeball side of things, right? Like when Spikeball does their streams, when Gasway is doing so much with so little and doing live streams, obviously Gasway's paid, but you guys aren't paying Gasaway to watch his streams. Like Spikeball's paying for that. He's a Spikeball employee, and so like you guys are getting content basically for free from Spikeball for all these tournaments that the Spikeball Tour Series is streaming, and that's a really cool thing. That's awesome. That's value added to the community. The thing is, generally speaking, like if you're not paying for it, then that means it's marketing. If you're watching Roundnet and then you go tell your friends you had a fun time watching Roundnet and then you play and then you go buy Spikeball equipment, like that's how marketing works. Generally, I'm definitely not an expert and don't have a lot of time to like engage on it, but that's a general idea. Is like Spikeball in the sports side of things for Roundnet is trying to market the sport to bring in more partners. They've done a really cool job getting more partners. They got like beard guys specifically for the championship. That's awesome. That's more money to the sport. That's more money for Spikeball to do things like put on big tour series and fund cash purses, things that like I can't do on my own. But yeah, when we think about like wanting to watch content and like having the perspective of like we have to watch this content, I think unless you're paying for it, like everything's just being given to you, like it's free. So yeah, we're being marketed to if there's free content. When I do free content, like you guys have, if you're watching this, there's a pretty high chance you've watched the live streams that I'm doing, because it'd be really weird if you're watching this just chatting and you weren't watching any of the live chat stuff. No one's obligated to do anything, but the disconnect that I sense when I think about things like me needing to have this content or not have this content is if you're not paying for anything, like there's no obligation to anyone to do anything. But if someone was saying, hey Ben, I'll give you $1,000 to stream this tournament, all of a sudden then I feel obligated to stream the tournament. And if they then tell their community, their fans, that there's this thing going on, then all of a sudden that's a different conversation. For me, I'm just streaming because I think Roundnet's important the same way you guys do, and I think it's important to have it out there. And when people do see that value and do recognize the value, I really appreciate it, because it means that I've found people that are like-minded, that are not only interested in Roundnet and like Roundnet, but are also willing to put their money where their mouth is at the end of the day, which we all have limited money, we all have limited time, limited resources, but that's how we build a sport. So that's my take on it. I think the only other note I have here is I think I'm in agreement with some of the stuff. I believe I want to credit Gavin, but Mike, I think, also said some similar things on that Roundnet podcast. My 2 cents being basically, like, you can see on here, like, live coverage, all these things. And I think even just like a quick disclaimer, from giving like some constructive criticism to STS is just letting people know that, hey, like if you're in Europe, you can't watch the ESPN thing, and we know like you guys really want to, and hope you guys know that we still value you as like part of our Spikeball Tour Series community. Because I think that was the only like miss. It's just like you can overreact to that or underreact to that. It's just like it seems like just like hey, if people were used to all year long seeing this content from Gasaway and then it was going to happen, I think just letting people know, hey, like we're not going to be able to cover this in this way because there's such this exciting opportunity to produce stuff on ESPN. I can understand like feeling left out, where you wanted to watch it and it wasn't made clear that you wouldn't be able to watch it. I know for me, I said I would stream as much as I could. If you guys tuned into anything I did this weekend, you know that I streamed as much as I could to the point of failure. I was getting lags again. I used 4 different phones this weekend to stream. Yeah, ultimately my biggest regret is I wish I had recorded back offline the mixed and women's finals, because then I could have gotten them in good quality, and I'm still sifting through that footage and it's just bad quality. If you watched any of that live, the camera was like shaking like this side to side, and the camera was still. It's just that like the whole setup on Twitch was glitching. It was really disgusting. Thanks for watching. If you're here, you probably care about Roundnet, so keep caring about it. Keep sharing it with more people, and go out and play. Bye, everybody.